Before putting Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal in prison, the Caliph asked with a smile, Ahmad, who is successful today? Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal replied, our funerals will determine who is successful. We hear that the whole city came to Imam Sahib's funeral. History breathed a sigh of relief. And in the garage of a small house in Burma, the last king of Delhi took his last breath and the Mughal Raj ended. There were only 4 to 5 people in the funeral. The magnificence of Mughal era revolved in Qari Sahib's eyes. 4 tears fell from his eyes, and that's it. Such was the funeral of Zahiruddin Babur's last year. Elizabeth died. We, the members of race of slaves, have always mourned over dead bodies of kings and queens. Today, Elizabeth died and Charles will die tomorrow. We had been crying and will keep on crying. This is what we do. Let's turn the story around to where George V died. Zade Bukhari, brother of Patras Bukhari and a big name in the world of broadcasting rights. When George V died, the government decreed that only news and morning tunes should be broadcasted on the radio. The songs were suspended. It was also ordered that the announcer will keep their voices as sad as possible. During interval, the decrees of George V should be recited. A radio artist, whom everyone called Niazi Sahib, started saying in a shrill voice, George V said 5 minutes before his death. He had said so much that he coughed. He turned the mic towards the music room. At the same time, Khan Sahib was fixing tabla there. He said at that time, who is the stupid who took hammer from here? Now the whole sentence went on air like this. 5 minutes before his death, George V said, who is the stupid who took hammer from here? George V was buried. George VI was crowned as new king of England. The mournful tunes were stopped and the slaves started beating their drums that another God has arrived who will heal their sorrows. The slaves used to cry out in joy and pray for his life. In World War II, many people were killed along with slaves of India in a surprise that what was their fault. We are slaves by nature. In 1875, when 50 years of rule of Queen Victoria was completed, a little military squad was deputed, whose duty was to announce the same. Squad used to reach in the main square of every city and announced, "O people, listen, Queen Victoria is our ruler." This military squad was named as Jugni. Jat brothers and then Alam Lohar sang songs on the same. We, the people who celebrate the slavery. George VI was succeeded by Elizabeth II in 1952. It was a period when England had shrunk to a mere geographical boundary. The Queen tried to prove herself superior by talking, by taking. The Queen tried to prove herself superior by taking Commonwealth and some other initiatives. But the hegemony of America and Russia had already was in limelight. Now she was only left as queen of palaces. Slaves had changed their masters. Now a new story starts. A deer-like innocent girl stepped into these palaces. The deer, behind which were lions, a delicate, vagrant girl teaching children A for apple, B for baby, who didn't even know that some people are inferior and some are superior. Some are meant to rule and some are born to be the slaves. She only knew that the color of blood is same. Babies drink the same milk. Love is the only silent language of the universe. She was tired of the prison cells of the palaces. As soon as she stepped out of the palace, the destitute hugged her feet. But at the time of her death, the penniless people were also satisfied with the fact that they were blessed with the shoulder of a princess. Residents of Africa, Asia, and distant Europe were blessed with the first princess who didn't feel their bad odor. In the slavish circle of palace, first whispers and then battles heated up against her on the same path, where there was only the fragrance of love. A year later, she died in a mysterious accident. Flowers covered her grave. Tears rushed in the eyes of the black children of the distant Africa. What gift could have they offered but tears? The royal family attended the funeral in utter silence. They were sad as to why people loved her blindly. One remains silent in front of the kings and is afraid of them. As a practice, kings are not made to love. The deer could not escape the tigers. She had to die, and she died, leaving behind the stories of love. The stories of love, affection, and kindness. She went to unknown paths where it was not known whether God exists or not. Elizabeth too also died. The royal family has tried to use all possible means to present it as the most sad incident of the world. However, outside the palace, there were no tears. Now, Queen was just a dead body. And who loves a dead body? Love is spread through good deeds only. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rightly said, our funerals will determine who succeeds.